Hey love, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you're here today. Welcome to the community. Today we are talking about how to create sustainable rest, or specifically, we're going to talk about how to create a sustainable rest routine. This is one of the biggest things that my clients come to me with, wanting to have a better routine, whether that's for their morning routine, their evening routine, just creating space for rest, self-care, pleasure in general, because so much of our lives are taken up by work. And they're kind of getting to that place where they feel like all I do is wake up, go to work, get home, make dinner, clean up, go to bed. Like we're in this mundane routine. How do we shift out of that in order to create a sustainable rest routine? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Make sure you like and comment on this video. Share with me your biggest aha moment or takeaway that we're going to be talking about today. Let me know how it resonates with you. And then please make sure to scroll down to the description and click on the very top link below. That is going to take you to the page for my brand new course, Rest for Success. This course is only open for a couple more days until May 22nd, 2022. So if you have not yet gotten in there, if you've been hearing about this a lot, you've been wanting to get in there, now's your chance. Make sure you go click on that link in the description. This is going to be an 8-week, one-time only live course where we're actually going to be going through a lot of what we're actually talking about here today. So if you clicked on this video, this course is going to be very much in alignment for you, in order to really set you up for making rest a core component for how you are creating success. We don't need to be stuck in the same cycles of how we've been working up until this point. We actually get to redefine how we want to create success, how we want to create results and reach our achievements. So this is going to be a one-time only 8-week live course, and I would absolutely love to see you in there before the doors close. All right, so let's dive into today's video, how to create that sustainable rest routine. So what I really love to talk about here is the way that I teach this, and that is through something called the rhythm of rest. One of the greatest mindset shifts for me personally when I got into this work and I was healing on my own journey from burnout and overworking and just complete exhaustion, completely out of alignment with how I was showing up in my life, was to start seeing how rest was so crucial and so key. And I had really been disregarding it up until this point. And just consider this for yourself for a minute as well, whether or not rest is really a priority in your life, or if it's kind of an afterthought that you do at the end of the day, once you have gotten everything else done. And if it really tends to be something that's rejuvenating and fulfilling to you and satisfying, because it goes deeper than potentially just throwing on a Netflix show, or if you kind of feel like you're compensating. And I have a really great video on what rest compensation means, which is essentially when we are not getting that fulfillment out of rest. There's a whole concept that I go into there. I'll link the video as well. But when we talk about how do we shift that, then what I do is I look at something called the rhythm of rest. And so, like I was saying before, going into this journey for myself, when I look back, the key factor here was not just making rest something that I did, once a day or even once a week and kind of had like my one thing in my calendar, which is what a lot of us tend to do. We're using these systems and structures from the productivity and time management industry. I also have a video on what's missing in that industry if you want to go check that out. But what tends to happen is we try and match our rest to how the productivity and time management industry tells us to organize our time. And so it really starts to become just one more thing to check off the to-do list, which again, really defeats the purpose of having a restful enjoyment space, which is what rest is really for, right? Coming back to work, feeling more fulfilled, feeling more focused, feeling more motivated, your ability to be more productive, to have gotten clarity. All of those things is why rest is such a core component to your success and why we need to be integrating it as such in how you're showing up to work. So again, going back to my own journey, what I started to realize was it needs to start to become a rhythm. When we look at nature, when we look at the ebbs and flows of life, that's always what I look to for kind of the system that's already in place. We don't need to be inventing the wheel here or reinventing the wheel. We simply get to see, how am I meant to be showing up based on what I really desire internally. We have this internal nature-based clock inside of us that is guiding us the same way that nature has an internal clock that says, hey, it's about to be springtime, or it's about to be wintertime. It's about time to snow. And of course, there's science behind that. But the point being that we go through these cycles. And so do we personally on an individual level. And so when we talk about rest, it really needs to start to become a rhythm where you're just showing up and doing it because it feels good because it's becoming a natural part of your life, of how you show up, the same way that you brush your teeth in the morning, or you like to hang out at night with your loved ones, or in the summer you like to go swimming. Like there's this rhythm of, ooh, what kind of time of year is it? What do I feel like doing, right? So what is a rhythm of rest? A rhythm of rest is your system, and it is really your customized and unique system to how you implement this in your life. And again, the reason why this is so important is because we want to make this become something that's very natural and effortless for you so that you actually show up to do it. Again, if it's going to be just one more chore on your to-do list, it's going to be pretty hard and it's going to feel pretty frustrating to be like, oh my God, I did so much today. I had so much work to do, et cetera, et cetera. And now I have to go and rest. I have to do this rhythm of rest that I've decided I'm going to do. And that really is not the place that we want to be coming from. So a few things to think about for your rhythm of rest is really about creating a big zoomed out picture vision of how do I want rest to look like in my life as a whole? Again, this is not about just saying, okay, I'm going to take a bubble bath or an Epsom salt bath or make a nourishing meal, once in a while, have that on your to-do list, you're checking it off, or I'm going to read this book. Again, anytime we make a list, even if it's mentally, and it's like, oh, I have to, I need to do X, Y, Z, then we're again creating this pressure-based need to show up in a certain way, and that's not going to help us with rest. So the reason we want to zoom out is to look at the greater picture of your life. And that's really going to be the thing that shows you and guides you and gives you that clarity of how do I really want to be spending my time? Because if I don't know how I want to be spending my time outside of work, I'm just going to let work literally fill into every single crevice of my life, right? Until I get really clear on how I want to be spending that time, my personal time, then I need to put boundaries into place. But if I don't have that clarity, I can't make those boundaries, right? And so having that big picture vision, zooming out from the nitty gritty day-to-day life, again, the nitty gritty is great when we're like in it and getting things done, but it also creates a expectation or this pressure feeling of, okay, well, I have all this work to do, and now I need to squeeze in these little pieces here for rest as well. But when we zoom it back out and we look at the greater picture, this kind of bird's eye view of your life, how you want to be spending your time, how you want to be resting, that's when we can kind of get clear on the flow. So instead of having a list, a checklist to check off, you're looking at the general flow, the general way you want it to feel when you're resting. Not just resting then too, but how you want it to feel when you're working, knowing that you have this space where you can also be slowing down, where you can also be tapping back into, this inner power, this intuition, this calm, this peace, this slowing down. This is really why taking an approach to rest and having actual sustainable rest is so, so crucial to do with this customized method of a rhythm of rest, because like we've talked about this entire time, there's this very delicate balance to even showing up to rest, and the way in which we do that is very important. So I'm going to leave you at that. I am going to be teaching you how to create your rhythm of rest within the Rest for Success course. So if this has spoken to you, if you want to learn more, if you want to know how to do this for yourself, click that link in the description and join me in the upcoming course, and I will see you next time.